What if the most intense feeling you've ever had, lust, is also your greatest vulnerability? We chase it, we crave it, we often deny its power, yet it shapes our decisions in ways we rarely acknowledge. For centuries, across empires and backroom deals, rulers and philosophers have known this unsettling truth. Desire makes us dangerously predictable, and few understood the raw mechanics of power and the human psyche better than Niccolò Machiavelli. He saw the world and us with unflinching clarity, recognizing that our deepest urges are often our most exploitable weaknesses. In the next 15 minutes, I'll unearth 50 of his darkest psychological facts about lust, showing you precisely how this primal force becomes the ultimate weapon of control for those cunning enough to wield it. Count along with me. By the end, I promise you'll never see attraction the same way again. Ready? Let's dive into the shadows. 1. Lust blinds moral judgment faster than alcohol. Once truly aroused, people will betray friends, abandon vows, and compromise even themselves for a fleeting promise of satisfaction. It's a powerful intoxicant, dissolving inhibitions and blurring lines you once thought were etched in stone. 2. The person who triggers the feeling usually isn't the true target. Our primal brain, in its infinite wisdom, often just tags whoever is conveniently nearby when the feeling strikes. Proximity, it turns out, can often trump genuine preference, making anyone within reach a potential focus for transferred arousal. It's less about who they are and more about who's there. A sobering thought, isn't it? 3. Anticipation releases more dopamine than climax. This is a classic for a reason. The chase, the almost, the tantalizing whisper of what could be. That's where the real addiction lies. Your brain, ever the clever chemist, floods you with more dopamine during the anticipation of pleasure than it does during the pleasure itself. So strategically withholding, keeping someone just on the edge, is far more potent and addictive than simply giving in. It's the promise, not the delivery, that truly ensnares. 4. Secrecy multiplies arousal, a whispered word behind closed doors, a clandestine glance, a forbidden rendezvous. These can outweigh public praise or overt declarations of affection. The illicit nature of something hidden amplifies its allure, making it feel more precious and potent. 5. Jealousy is manufactured easily. A casual, almost accidental mention of a rival interest, real or imagined, can raise your perceived value overnight. It sparks an instinctual fear of loss, turning mild interest into urgent pursuit. 6. The eyes dilate within half a second of attraction. It's an involuntary physiological tell, a tiny window into the brain's excitement. Learn to spot it, and you can read nascent desire like a stock ticker long before a single word is spoken. 7. Reciprocity is optional. The mind can stay hooked on someone who never returns a text, never quite commits, provided uncertainty stays high. It's the unanswered question, the potential, that keeps the loop running, not genuine engagement. 8. Fear and lust share neural real estate. Scare someone slightly before flirting. A sudden loud noise, a shared moment of mild danger, and the two emotions can fuse. The elevated heart rate and adrenaline from fear can be misattributed as attraction, forging a powerful, if deceptive, connection. 9. Uniforms, rings, or vows of celibacy create forbidden fruit cues that spike dopamine even higher. The barrier, the perceived unavailability, only heightens the desire. What's unattainable often becomes infinitely more desirable. 10. The more effort spent chasing, the more the brain rewrites the story to claim it wanted the prize all along. This is cognitive dissonance at its finest. To justify the investment of time, energy, and emotion, the mind convinces itself that the object of the chase was truly worth it, deepening the perceived value. 11. Machiavelli, ever the pragmatist, warned never to win by force what can be won by deception. The same applies with brutal efficiency to seduction. Overt pressure signals weakness, desperation, and a lack of true power. Subtlety, manipulation, and the illusion of choice are far more effective tools. 12. A well-timed, specific compliment, followed by a strategic silence, makes the recipient manufacture the rest of the praise inside their own head, deepening their obsession. You plant the seed, and they water it with their own ego, making your words resonate far more powerfully. 13. People will confess secrets mid-arousal that they wouldn't reveal under threat of violence. Desire, in its intoxicating grip, dissolves boundaries that fear keeps rigidly intact. The craving for connection, for intimacy, can unlock the most guarded chambers of the mind. 14. The one who cares less always appears more attractive because scarcity equals power. This isn't about being aloof. It's about projecting an aura of self-sufficiency. When you appear less invested, you become the prize, and the other person's investment naturally increases. 15. Intermittent reinforcement, random rewards, creates stronger habits than consistent kindness. Reply in 3 hours, then in 10 minutes, then not at all for a day. This unpredictable pattern creates a powerful, almost Pavlovian addiction, keeping the recipient constantly seeking your attention. 16. Sharing a minor, seemingly insignificant secret creates a conspiracy bond, making the other person feel invested in protecting the relationship and you. It fosters an illusion of exclusive trust, drawing them deeper into your orbit. 17. Mirroring posture, pace, and even slang activates mirror neurons and subtly tricks the brain into feeling kinship and understanding. It's an unconscious mimicry that fosters a sense of effortless connection, making you seem instantly more relatable and trustworthy. 18. Candlelight and low voices remove detail, letting the imagination fill in the gaps with idealized traits. In the soft glow and hushed tones, imperfections fade, and the mind constructs a perfect image, making the reality far more appealing than it might otherwise be. 19. The moment someone believes you're slightly out of their league, validation from you becomes a potent drug. Your approval, your attention, becomes a coveted prize, something they must earn, elevating your status and deepening their desire for your acceptance. 20. Hinting at future pleasure without specifying when keeps attention locked on you like a slot machine. The promise of an unspecified future reward, the maybe next time, creates a constant state of hopeful anticipation, keeping you at the forefront of their thoughts. If these insights are making you rethink every text you've ever sent, every glance you've ever exchanged, then you're beginning to understand the game. Hit subscribe. More cold-blooded wisdom, designed to empower you, drops weekly. Don't miss out. 21. The phrase, "I shouldn't be telling you this," instantly triples attention because it signals exclusive access and a shared secret. It creates an immediate sense of intimacy and importance, making the listener lean in, eager for privileged information. 22. Pairing touch with a neutral comment. A hand on the shoulder while discussing the weather, a brief brush of the arm during a mundane conversation, links your presence to comfort, not overt flirting, lowering defenses and building subconscious rapport. It's subtle, disarming, and incredibly effective. 23. Canceling plans once spikes desire. Canceling twice trains the brain to expect disappointment and lowers status. Balance is everything. The initial cancellation creates scarcity, but repeated flakiness just signals unreliability and a lack of respect for their time. 24. Appearing busier than you are frames time with you as rare, valuable currency. When your time seems scarce, a moment of your attention becomes a coveted luxury, increasing its perceived worth and making them work harder for it. 25. A voice message beats a text because tone carries a subtext the imagination rewinds to decode. The nuances of inflection, the slight pauses, the emotional weight behind the words. These provide a richer, more engaging experience that a simple text can't replicate, inviting deeper interpretation. 26. People rate others higher when they're already smiling. Enter every room with a genuine grin, and half the work of making a positive impression is already done. Your positive energy becomes infectious, making you immediately more approachable and appealing. 27. Red clothing boosts perceived attractiveness in heterosexual contexts across cultures. Used sparingly to avoid seeming obvious or overly aggressive, it's a primal signal, a subtle hint of passion and vitality, but too much can easily become a cliché. 28. The brain confuses an elevated heart rate from exercise with attraction. Invite someone for a brisk walk, a light hike, or even a quick workout before coffee. The physiological arousal can be misattributed to your presence, creating a powerful, unconscious pull. 29. Mentioning an ex without negativity triggers mate-copying instincts. Someone valued them, they were desirable, maybe I should too. It's a subtle form of social proof, hinting that you are a person of value, sought after by others. 30. The best moment to ask for a favor is right after shared laughter. Endorphins are flowing, defenses are down, and a sense of camaraderie makes compliance far more likely. It's a window of opportunity, a moment of shared joy that lubricates social interactions. 31. Delayed replies create an emotional vacuum nature abhors. Most people fill it by doubling their effort to get your attention. The silence becomes a challenge, an emptiness they feel compelled to fill, making them work harder for your response. 32. Mystery beats biography. Reveal about 70% of yourself, and the remaining 30% becomes their obsession. Don't lay all your cards on the table. The unknown, the intriguing gaps, are what fuel curiosity and keep someone actively engaged in figuring you out. 33. The person who controls logistics, venue, time, transport, controls the mood. Plan routes that pass scenic spots, choose cozy lighting, select music carefully. You can halo effect your presence by associating it with pleasant, carefully curated experiences. 34. Speaking slowly when others rush signals authority and composure. Speaking quickly when others hesitate signals excitement and passion. Match your vocal strategy to your goal. Your pace of speech is a powerful, often an overlooked tool of influence. 35. Small, relatable imperfections. An uneven cuff, a slightly cracked phone screen, a momentary fumble for words. Humanize you and lower suspicion of curated manipulation. They make you seem authentic and approachable, rather than perfectly polished and therefore potentially untrustworthy. 36. The peak end rule states that judgment is set by the most intense moment and the finale. Engineer both, and the middle becomes largely irrelevant. Make the beginning memorable, create an intense high point, and ensure a strong, positive conclusion. That's what they'll remember. 37. A lingering scent at exit ensures you're remembered after the meeting ends. The brain records olfactory cues longer and more powerfully than visuals. A subtle, distinctive fragrance becomes an anchor, triggering memories of you long after you've gone. 38. People who pay minor costs, like parking meters for an outing or fetching a coffee, feel invested. Ask for tiny, insignificant favors before you ask for big ones. These small acts of compliance build a sense of commitment and psychological investment. 39. Mentioning future danger, even playfully. I might get dragged to a wedding next month. Wish me luck. Anchors you in their future planning. It subtly suggests a future together, even if it's just in their mind, making your presence feel more permanent. 40. Laughter in a group raises the status of the joke teller. Target gentle teasing at the most powerful person present, not the weakest. This demonstrates confidence and a lack of fear, subtly asserting your own social standing. 41. Self-deprecation from a high-status person increases likability. From a low-status person, it merely cements low status. Know your baseline, understand your position, and deploy humility strategically, not as a default. 42. Absence after intimacy amplifies longing. Presence after rejection amplifies contempt. Timing is power, and understanding when to withdraw and when to persist is crucial. Don't linger where you're not wanted, but make your departure felt. 43. The one who states their intent first usually loses leverage. Hold your cards close, let them wonder, and wait until the pot odds clearly favor you. Yes, ambiguity in this game is a powerful weapon. 44. People chase what moves away. Lean back slightly when speaking, create a tiny bit of space, and watch them unconsciously lean in, trying to close the gap. It's a subtle physical cue that triggers a primal pursuit instinct. 45. A compliment wrapped in a question. How do you always know the perfect thing to say? Forces deeper self-reflection and sticks longer. It's not just praise. It's an invitation for them to consider their own admirable qualities, associating that positive feeling with you. 46. The brain treats lost opportunity and actual loss the same. Hinting you might walk away, that an opportunity with you could vanish, triggers as much anxiety as actually taking something away. The fear of missing out is a potent motivator. 47. Shared vulnerability, admitting a childhood fear, a past insecurity, bonds tighter than shared triumph. Use it once, strategically, to create deep emotional resonance, but don't overplay it, or it loses its power. 48. The simplest way to appear powerful is to react less. Emotional economy reads as control, as an unshakable inner core. When others are flustered, your calm becomes a beacon, a sign of true strength. 49. Once someone believes you understand them better than anyone else, criticism from you feels like self-betrayal if they ignore it. You become their trusted confidant, their mirror, and your observations carry immense weight. 50. Mastering your own lust is the final, most Machiavellian move. The person unmoved by desire, who can observe its currents without being swept away, wields the influence of 10 who are enslaved by it. Keep these 50 blades sharp, understand these dark truths, and next time the game of attraction begins, you'll be the one holding the cards, not the one being played. Machiavelli understood. Lust reveals more about human nature than any other emotion. Master your own desires, and you master others. Which fact shocked you the most? Comment below, and let the games begin.